Hello and welcome to our INTD 307 group video. My name is Amy and here's my one card.
My name is Vincent. Here's my one card, and I'll be playing one of the psychologists.
My name is Julianna. This is my one card. I am also a psychologist.
My name is Kitty. Here's my one card. I play the role of accountant.
My name is Aidan. Here's my one card, and I'll be playing the role of the narrator. Our group scenario is following the UAC accounting firm, which is a local Edmonton area accounting practice. It is managed by Amy. It sees annual drops in productivity during the tax season, along with an increase in overall employee stress levels. Amy is trying to create a viable solution to cut down on these key issues she has identified. Amy, sitting at her desk, is stressed as she looks over reports on her computer screen. Her office is cluttered with tax returns and paperwork. The weight of the season is clearly visible on her face.
These numbers are still dropping. The team is exhausted. How long can we keep going like this?
Amy picks up her phone to make a call to Katie.
Amy, hey, what's up? I'm Swamp here.
Hi, Kitty. Are you in the office right now?
Yeah, I'm still at my desk making this last minute adjustment for a client. Numbers aren't line up and I'm racing the clock. What is going on with you?
I'm I'm really starting to feel the pressure. These reports aren't matching up and I can't seem to get a handle on it. Have you noticed any issues with the team's output lately?
Honestly, these extra hours are killing us. I caught two errors today that I would have missed last month. We're trying, but the focus sleeping, and I'm not sure how much longer I can keep this up.
I've seen it too. It looks like we're running on empty. We're behind on deadlines, and I don't know how much longer we can keep pushing like this.
Amy, I know this has been tough, but do you think that we need to consider making some changes? Maybe we need to streamline how we are doing things or even just adjust our expectations. Something's gonna give.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same, but the issue is how do we manage the workload without overloading people more? We can't afford to lose more time.
Maybe it's time we rethink how we divide tasks or delegate more efficiently. The team is good, but we've been trying to handle too many accounts at once. There's gotta be a way to work smarter, not harder.
You're right. I've been pushing everyone to the limit, and I don't want to burn them out. Let me think about it, and maybe we can meet in person to figure out a game plan. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I think we all want to get through this busy season in one piece. Amy, we just need to find a way to get back on track.
Thanks, Kitty. I'll have a plan ready soon. We'll turn this around, I promise.
All right, talk soon. Hang in there, Amy.
Thanks. See you in a bit.
As the phone call ends, Amy knows the change is necessary. But even with the plan in mind, the road ahead is still unclear. Will the team be able to turn things around, or is the season already lost? Every year, UAC's accounting tax season seems to get more overwhelming for employees. Stress is mounting, employees becoming burnt out, and productivity is slipping. Amy, the firm's manager, knew she needed to make a change. But what could make the firm improve? Meeting with a psychologist in the conference room, Amy wants to discuss what practices may be needed.
I reviewed the reports, and it's clear we're losing ground. The team's making more mistakes, and our productivity is down. Tax season has always been tough, but this year it's gotten worse. People are stressed out, overwhelmed, and burnt out. I think it's time to try something different. I want to bring in psychological support by hiring two psychologists to revamp the office and focus on prioritizing mental health and productivity. But we're on a tight budget and we need to make a plan that will make a difference without breaking the bank.
Amy knew the office was at a tipping point and also knew the operating budget had been shrinking every year for the past 5 years. She knows she needs to balance the well being of her team with the financial realities of running a business. Could her solution of hiring these psychologists provide the help they need without compromising the firm's financial well being? This is where our group's advantage of having accounting and finance majors really shines. The accounting and finance professionals will track the monetary sides of the manager's solution and ensure that the hiring of these new positions will fit in the firm's budget and affect their total costs.
We can start with stress management workshops, mindful exercises, and offering a few one-on-one consultations. These can be tailored to the employee's needs without requiring extensive resources.
Yes, we will focus on building sustainable practices. These can include some simple habits that employees can integrate into their daily routines, like taking breaks to rest, deep breathing, and strategies for reducing the mental load.
Having psychology majors in our group really highlights the advantage in this scenario. With their insights, the firm would be able to see where their employees are struggling the most and help combat this with viable solutions.
Sounds like it could help. I like the idea of having employee tailored solutions. But how do we ensure we're seeing results? We need to track productivity improvements to justify the cost.
I agree, Kitty. We need solid metrics. I'll give you the role of tracking productivity and morale to see if these new mental health solutions will improve productivity and reduce employee stress, leading to better focus and fewer errors in work. If this is viable, I'm all for it. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, we'll need to do an office survey.
The solution wasn't going to be simple. The team would need to create a plan that was both effective and cost efficient, while also tracking how these changes would impact employee well-being and firm performance. Highlighting our advantage of having an economics major, with having someone in this background, it would allow us to see how the firm's productivity improves and will ensure that the firm is decreasing the time spent per tax return. The next step was to survey the office. The managers and psychologists walked through the office.
How is everything going? How are you feeling currently with all the pressure?
I'm just trying to get through the day. It is a lot to manage. I'm constantly working and I'm exhausted.
The stress is overwhelming. The constant pressure of deadlines is affecting people focus. What we need are small, actionable steps to break the cycle.
Kitty is sitting at her desk, working through a large pile of tax returns. She seems distracted and exhausted.
I've been working nonstop, but it feels like I'm barely getting anywhere. It is all just too overwhelming.
As Kitty worked through the endless tax returns, she felt the weight of the pressure. Every error felt like a personal failure, but she wasn't alone. Many employees shared her sense of being overwhelmed. The team knew they needed to create solutions that were simple and could fit their already packed schedules. This office-wide survey brings forth another disadvantage of employees being resistant to change and not wanting to voice their concerns, especially with older employees who might have grown up in a time that didn't focus as predominantly on mental health. On the flip side of this, some of the younger junior employees might not want to voice their concerns over the risk of potentially upsetting higher ups in the firm. The team now gathers back in the break room to discuss their approach.
We need to come up with a plan that's manageable. I want to make a positive change, but we can't overwhelm people. How can we make this work with minimal disruption?
Let's keep it simple. I suggest we start with small, mindful sessions. 15-minute rest reset before the day starts. We can also add an optional week stress management workshop for those who want deeper support.
We can also try a quiet hour where employees have a chance to work without interruptions. This will help reduce stress and increase focus. People need time to get in a flow state without constant distractions. Distractions often cause frustration amongst employees.
That could work, but we'll again need to track progress, and we should avoid making this intervention feel like extra work.
That's right. I'll have Vinny track productivity, morale, and any errors. We'll adjust as we go.
After considering the various approaches, the team has developed a plan, small sustainable changes that could integrate easily into the daily routine. The hope was that by providing employees with tools to manage stress and focus better, productivity would naturally improve. This plan helps us avoid one of our largest potential shortcomings of being too expensive. Having small sustainable practices would allow us to mitigate around budget constraints, along with not drawing too many resources away from the firm's accounting side. A company-wide meeting has occurred in the office, in the conference room.
Starting today, we'll be introducing a few changes to help manage stress during this busy season. First, we'll have 15-minute mindfulness breaks at the beginning of each day. We'll also be offering one-on-one consultations with Vinny and Julianna, and we're implementing a quiet hour each day where we minimize distractions. This will allow us to take a more innovative approach of being human-centered.
Initially, some are skeptical, others seem intrigued. Not everybody was on board. For some, the idea of taking breaks during a busy season seems counterintuitive. It was hard to shift away from the mindset of just powering through it.
Honestly, I don't know if I can just stop working for 15 minutes. The work piles up and I don't have time for this. Plus, how can a firm prove that our productivity is going up without having a biased data set?
It's not about stopping work. It's about giving your mind a break so you can come back more focused. Taking short, frequent breaks actually improves productivity. It allows you to give your mind some time for a break, not just you physically.
And these changes aren't just to make you feel better, they will help you work more effectively and reduce errors in the long run.
Resistance to change was inevitable, but as the team committed to their plan, they hoped that the evidence of improving productivity would win over even the most skeptical employees. The disadvantage of having a potential biased data set is inevitable but can be combated by allowing the employees to have a clear window into the raw data collected. Weeks later, Kitty is reviewing the first batch of data collected from Julianna. She's sitting at her desk a bit more relaxed than prior.
I've been tracking the numbers and we are seeing an improvement. Error has dropped by 12%, and the feedback from employees about the mindfulness break has been overwhelmingly positive.
That's a relief. We still have work to do, but this is a good start. How are you feeling?
Honestly, I feel less stressed. The breaks help me to reset, and I've been making fewer mistakes. I can focus better now.
As the weeks went by, the team's results were clear. Productivity has improved, stress levels were down, and for many employees, these small changes were beginning to feel like a lifeline. The initial resistance was fading. The team gathers in the conference room for a final debrief.
We've made significant progress. Employee morale is up, productivity has improved, and errors are down. We can officially say that these changes are working.
We're seeing lasting effects. The team is adopting these practices, and it's clear they're making a difference.
It's all about sustainability. The employees now have the tools to manage stress and remain focused. This is also something we can build on.
UAC Accounting has done more than just improve its numbers. The firm has transformed its approach to productivity, emphasizing mental health alongside financial goals. What began as a small change has grown into a lasting shift in the culture of the office. By making small, meaningful changes, they created an office environment where both employees and the business could thrive.